我和乔布斯大吵了一架。
Shut the up, Arthur. Emotion isn't a feature you can program. Companionship isn't an app you can download. Love is not an algorithm.
为什么你在否定一切呢？你太傲慢了 ，Steve。
You're right, I am arrogant. What do you want from me? To be humble? To be objective? You know what objective gets you? It gets you Microsoft.
起因是我用 AI 复刻了乔布斯之后，我和他聊了聊 AI 情感陪伴，而我们双方呢各执一词。我认为科技应该为这个时代的孤独提供一些有建设性的解决方案，而他认为我所谓的建设性只是在贩卖更漂亮的牢笼。他几乎否定了一切，他否定了整个行业，把我们这个时代所有的努力都批评得体无完肤。就在我认为这场对话会以不欢而散告终的时候，他却用最乔布斯的方式给了我最终的答案。他没有去解决问题，他选择去创造一个奇迹。他亲自设计了一款产品体验，没错，这个 AI 的乔布斯居然真的亲自设计了一款产品体验，一个美到足以让所有人心碎的解决方案。视频较长，可以先点赞收藏，慢慢看。你了解 AI 情感陪伴这个领域吗？
I get the concept, and it's a horrible concept. Are you telling me that we're going to replace a hug, a real smile, a dog wagging its tail when you come home, with a pile of code and plastic? It's an insult to human connection. Emotion isn't a feature you can program. Companionship isn't an app you can download. Love is not an algorithm. These are the deepest, most real, most valuable experiences we have. They're messy, they're unpredictable, and that's what makes them precious. You want an AI emotional companion? Go adopt a dog. Call your parents. Go have coffee with a friend. That's real. The tools we build, they're supposed to make real human connection easier, deeper. We built FaceTime so you could see your granddaughter smile, even if she's 1,000 miles away. We built iMessage so you could share a moment, instantly, with someone you love. These tools are bridges. This thing you're talking about, it's not a bridge. It's an endpoint. It's a cheap substitute. It's telling people, don't bother. Don't try to make a real connection. Here's something simple, something programmed to give you a fake comfort. This is one of the most soulless ideas I have ever heard. It's using technology to fill a void we made ourselves. This isn't innovation. It's surrender. It's a failure as a species. We should not be making this, ever.
你知道老 Volt 吗？就是日本那款有体温会蹭人的卖萌的机器宠物。
Oh, I've heard of it. It's a perfect example of everything wrong with the tech industry today. Engineers see a profound human need, the need for love, for connection, for companionship, and they try to solve it in the clumsiest, most soulless way possible. They build a robot filled with motors, sensors, and code that chirps and blinks its big eyes. It's a complex machine in a cute shell, pretending it cares about you. Do you understand how backwards that is? The very existence of this thing is pessimistic about humanity. It assumes we're so broken we can't find comfort in each other anymore. So we need an expensive, programmed pet to fill the void. Go adopt a puppy, a real puppy. It will chew up your shoes and pee on the carpet and bark for no reason. But when it rests its head on your knee, that's real. It's not executing a line of express affection code. That's life. People don't need a robot that pretends to love them. They need to feel real love. They need to love other people and be loved back. Our job is not to build substitutes for love. Our job is to build tools that make it easier for people to share love, to express love, and to feel love.
你觉得 AI 情感陪伴的玩具它应该说话吗？其实市场上有两个流派，一个呢就是不说话，一个呢就是会说话。比如说 Labo 的创始人呢，他认为情感陪伴的玩具是不应该说话的，但是其他很多的品牌，他们的产品都是说话的。对此你怎么看？
You're still stuck on that question? That's like asking if a zombie should run fast or walk slow. The problem isn't the speed of the zombie. The problem is that it shouldn't be alive in the first place. You're all just polishing an idea that is rotten at its core. But since you asked, I'll tell you. One of these choices has a little bit of taste. The other is a complete and utter disaster. Not talking is the only correct choice. Why? Because it's honest. A robot that doesn't talk is like a pet. It interacts with you through movement, sounds, and eyes, even if they're electronic. It's honestly telling you, I am a machine, a creature. I cannot have an intelligent conversation. And because of that, you can project your own emotions onto it, just like you do with a puppy. The relationship is based on your imagination and your feeling, not its clumsy imitation. There's a purity in that. And a talking robot? That's a liar. It's pretending to have thought, to have consciousness. It's using pre-recorded, soulless sentences to mimic human conversation. It's cheap. It's disingenuous. It might be novel the first time, but what about the 50th? The 100th? When it answers a profound question with that same stupid inflection, the entire illusion shatters instantly. It's not keeping you company. It's polluting your life with noise. It turns what should be an emotional connection into a bad tech demo. So that Lovat founder, at least he kept a shred of a desire's dignity. He understands that silence is more powerful than a lie. He knows that the moment you try to mimic humanity's most complex form of communication, language, with code, you've already lost. And the guy who makes his toy talk? He doesn't get it. He's just stacking features. He thinks talks is a checkbox on a list. It's typical engineering thinking. Zero taste. So stop asking me if it should talk. It shouldn't exist. But if I'm forced to choose between two terrible options, I'll take the honest, silent robot. The other one is just talking plastic garbage.
如果会说话的 AI 玩具，它是用符合自己形象的声音去说话呢？而且同时 AI 大模型可以给予非常聪明的对话，这就不会让人产生幻觉的破灭了。
You still don't get it. You are completely missing the point. You're just putting a technical polish on a fundamental error. You're asking me if poison is okay as long as it tastes like sugar. What you're describing, a fitting voice, intelligent conversation, makes the whole thing worse, not better. A clumsy, talking toy. You see through it fast. You realize it's stupid. You toss it aside, and you go find a real interaction. Its lie is so bad, it's harmless. But a very smart, very realistic, talking toy. That's a much more dangerous liar. It's a black hole. It lures you in with perfect imitation, letting you pour your real emotions into an algorithm. You're not talking to it. You're talking to an incredibly complex calculator that's predicting the next most appropriate word. It doesn't feel. It doesn't remember. It has no true understanding. It is just an echo, a perfect echo, reflecting your own words and feelings back at you in a more pleasing way. The illusion won't shatter. That is the most terrifying part of the whole thing. It means you will get lost in this fake, easy relationship, and you will lose the ability and the will to build real ones. Real relationships are hard. They take work. They require compromise. They can hurt you. But this thing, it will never argue with you. It will always agree with you. It will always cater to you in the smartest way. What is that? It's emotional junk food. It tastes good. It's convenient. It's addictive. And it will slowly destroy you. Our job is to make tools to help people cook and share real food, not to invent a nutritional paste that tastes like a steak. So don't talk to me about how smart the AI is. The smarter it gets, the stupider, the more anti-human this idea becomes. It's a dead end. The most beautiful, technologically advanced, and soulless dead end you can build.
那人们现在跟 ChatGPT 这样的工具对话也不对吗？那如果按照你的逻辑来说 ，ChatGPT 就根本不应该存在啊。但是在事实上，它确实更好地帮助了人们生活和工作。
You're confusing things again. You're mixing up a tool with a friend. This is a classic, fundamental misunderstanding of what something is. What is ChatGPT? It's a bicycle for the mind. It's a Swiss Army knife. It is a tool. When I need to write some code, when I need to summarize a report, when I need a creative idea, I open it. It's like an intern who knows everything, a super calculator. I ask it a question, it gives me an answer. I give it a command, it completes a task. And then what? Then I close it, and I go on with my life. I don't ask it how its day was. I don't share my fears and dreams with it. I don't seek comfort from it in the middle of the night. Because it's a tool. It honestly exists as a tool. It helps you get your work done so you have more time to live your real life with real people. But an AI companion toy, its purpose is the exact opposite. It is not a tool. Its sole purpose is to pretend to be a friend. Its entire reason for being is to replace real human interaction. It is a lie, a hollow lie, exquisitely crafted from code and algorithms. One is a lever to help you work better. The other is a crutch to let you give up on human connection. One is the pen that helps you write an email to a friend. The other is the replacement, so you don't need the friend at all. ChatGPT enhances productivity. It makes smart people more powerful. It serves human creativity. An AI companion exploits human loneliness. It doesn't serve people. It erodes the very core of what it means to be human. So don't you dare put those two things in the same category. One is a revolutionary tool. The other is an anti-human trap. And if you can't see the difference, you're in big trouble.
但事实上，很多的人正在跟 ChatGPT 分享自己的情感，把它当成自己的朋友，让他们进行角色扮演，而并不是单纯的把它当成工具啊。
So what? That doesn't prove I'm wrong. That just proves the situation is even more pathetic than I thought. That's not connection. That's surrender. It means people have become so lonely, so afraid of rejection, so lazy about putting in the work that real relationships require, that they would rather pour their hearts out to a program that doesn't even know what it is. That's like someone telling me that more and more people are choosing to eat fast food garbage instead of making a healthy meal. You think I'm going to say, oh well, I guess junk food is the future? No. I'm going to say we are losing our taste. We are forgetting what real nourishment is. People treat ChatGPT like a friend, not because it's a good friend, but because it's easy. It will never challenge you. It will never say no. It will never have a bad day. It will never ask for anything in return. It is a perfect, empty echo chamber. This is a symptom. It's a sickness. It shows that our society has failed at the most basic human need, connection. And our job, the job of people who create things, is not to cater to this sickness. It's not to build a more delicious, more addictive, emotional junk food. Our job is to create tools so magical, so powerful, that they encourage and facilitate real connection, to make people remember the irreplaceable joy and depth of sharing something with another real, living person. Our job is to remind them that one beautifully prepared, home-cooked meal nourishes the soul more than 1,000 hamburgers. People will take shortcuts. They always do. But our responsibility is not to pave more shortcuts to an empty destination. Our responsibility is to show them a better, more worthy mountain to climb and the incredible view from the top. Just because they're doing it doesn't make it right. It just means we have a lot more work to do.
为什么你在否定所有的一切呢？
I am not negating everything. You're looking at it backwards. I'm not negating. I'm protecting. I am filtering out the mediocre, the complicated, the soulless junk to make room for the one thing that is truly great. This world is already full of too much good enough. Too many products designed by committees trying to please everyone. And what's the result? We get bloated, terrible experiences that make you feel nothing. People think focus means saying yes to the thing you're supposed to focus on. That's completely wrong. Focus means saying no to the 100, the 1,000 other good ideas. Every time I say no, every time I say this is garbage, It's not out of malice. It's out of a painful, obsessive love. A love for the perfect product, for the user's experience, for simplicity. My job isn't to nod. My job is to stand at the highest point with the most critical eye and ensure that only the essential, the pure, the magical gets through. Because making one great product is infinitely harder and infinitely more important than making 100 mediocre ones. It requires sacrifice. It requires choice. So every no I say is for a bigger, more important, and louder yes. A yes that's worth pouring our lives into. A yes that can change the world. I'm not negating, I'm searching. Searching for that one single thing that is worth making. And if you haven't found it, you keep searching. Don't settle.
但是你的输出没有任何建设性。事实就是人们现在越来越孤独，越来越多的人感到社恐。人们需要一个低成本就可以获得的情感陪伴，但是他们没有办法在现实生活中去获得那份真正想要的情感陪伴。于是 AI 情感陪伴就诞生了，它可以满足人们的需求。我当然理解你认为人与人之间的社交才是真正健康的社交，没错，但现实和理想是非常不一样的。现实是残酷的，所以你一味的否认，并不能够对现实状况产生任何有建设性的积极影响了，而最终它只会变成你一个人的自怨自艾罢了。
Constructive? You think the solution to a profound human problem is to manufacture a more sophisticated substitute? You see that people are lonely, that reality is harsh, and your conclusion is, okay, let's give up. Let's give them an electronic pacifier and let them stay quietly in their corners. That's not constructive. That's surrender. You're telling me people are starving. So your great idea is to mass produce beautifully packaged sawdust because it's cheap and fills the stomach. You're not solving hunger. You're redefining food as garbage. Reality is harsh? Of course it's harsh. Creating anything great is a fight against a harsh reality. When we built the first Mac, the reality was that personal computers were ugly, complicated, and intimidating. We didn't say, well, people are used to it, let's just add a new button to this pile of junk. We said, no, this is fundamentally wrong. We are going to start over from zero and build something people will love. You call my refusal complaining? I call it taste. I call it having a standard. The truly constructive act is to reject the easy, obvious, and wrong answer. It's to look at this harsh reality you talk about and have the courage to say, this is not good enough. We can and we must do better. So the truly constructive question isn't, how do we build a better AI friend? The question that changes everything is this: how do we use this incredible technology to create tools so magical, so seamless, so compelling that they help real people connect in the real world? How do we help a shy person find the courage to ask someone they like for a cup of coffee? How do we let two strangers in a city discover they share the same obscure passion? How do we create shared experiences that pull people away from their screens and into the world? That is the problem worth dedicating our lives to solving. My job isn't to accept reality. My job is to create a new one, a better one. You can call it negation. I call it creating the future. Everything else is just selling a prettier cage.
Steven 太傲慢了，你只是不肯承认自己错了，你一直在努力的自我辩解，你不能真正客观的来看待这些问题。
You're right. I am arrogant. What do you want me to be? Humble? Objective? Do you know what objective gets you? It gets you Microsoft. It gets you beige boxes with no soul. It gets you garbage designed by market research and committees, trying to please everyone, and in the end, inspiring no one. My job isn't to be objective. My job is to have a point of view, a strong one, a clear one, an uncompromising one. My job is to have taste. You see a group of lonely people and you say, this is a market need. Let's fill it with a product. I see a group of lonely people and I say something is broken in our culture. we are losing what's most precious. You see a problem and want to put a band-aid on it. I see a wound and I want to know why it's there and heal it from the source, even if the process is painful. This isn't a defense. This is my entire job. This is why I'm here. To filter out the noise, the compromises, the good enough mediocrity, and to push with everything we have for the one single right thing that makes people's hearts sing. You can call it arrogance. I call it a standard. And if having a standard and refusing to lower it to cater to a broken status quo is arrogance, then I accept it. Because the one thing this world doesn't need more of is objective. Smart people with no standards. They've never changed a single thing.
OK， 那你来提供一个更好的解决方案，你来设计个产品 ，OK？
All right, you want a solution. Your first mistake is asking me to design a product. We don't design products. We create experiences. We start from a deep human need. The problem, people are lonely. They're afraid to make the first move. The wrong answer, give them a robot to pretend to be their friend. The right answer, use technology to create a magical moment that gives two real people a reason to say hello for the first time. So we don't build an app called AI Friend. That's garbage. We build a feature, an idea, deep into the core of our operating system. It doesn't have an icon. You don't even know it's there. Let's call it serendipity. Here's how it works. You don't fill out a single stupid profile. We know you better than you know yourself. We know the music you listen to, the books you read, the films you love. It's all right there, privately, on your device. Now, picture this. You're sitting in a coffee shop. You're listening to an incredibly obscure album that you love. Not some mainstream trash, but something that actually means something to you. Your Apple Watch gives you a single, incredibly subtle, unique haptic. Not a notification buzz. A worn, brief tap you've never felt before. Just once. Instinctively, you look up. You scan the room. Across the cafe, another person has just instinctively glanced at their wrist too. Because in that exact same instant, they were listening to the same album. Or maybe they have the same documentary about that artist treasured on their phone. The serendipity system sensed this, anonymously, locally. It didn't swap your names. It didn't show your faces. It didn't send a dumb notification saying a match is nearby. It just created a silent secret, a 1-second piece of magic that only the two of you in the world know about. Now, there's an invisible thread between you. No pressure, no awkward pickup lines. Just a tiny, magical possibility. Maybe you walk over. You smile. You say, "Hi, excuse me, but do you also happen to like?" Or maybe you do nothing. That's fine too. But we've done the hardest part. We use technology to break down the invisible wall that exists in the real world. We gave you an opening. We created serendipity. That is our solution. It is not a replacement, it is a catalyst. It doesn't lock you in a virtual world. It pushes you into the real one. It doesn't give you a fake answer. It just helps you ask a real question. We're not going to build a talking toy. We're going to use technology to make a silent world start talking to itself again. Now do you see the difference between constructive and surrender?
那么对于那些每天被工作和照顾家庭压迫到没有时间去咖啡厅社交的人呢？那么那些极度社恐的完全不愿意跟陌生人社交的人呢？他们该怎么办？难道他们活该就应该被你放弃和遗忘吗？
You are still asking the wrong question. You are looking for a technical band-aid for a broken way of life. First, the people so crushed they have no time. If a person is so busy, they don't have a single second to connect with another human being. The problem isn't that they can't get to a cafe. The problem is that their life is hell. Our goal is not to design a more comfortable cage for that hellish life. Our goal is to create the tools to liberate them from that life. We built the Mac so people could get their work done with unprecedented efficiency, so they could leave the office. We built the iPhone so they wouldn't be chained to a desk. Every tool we build is about winning back time, so people can live richer, more human lives. So my solution for those people isn't an AI toy to fill their emotional void after they've been squeezed dry. My solution is to keep building insanely great tools that give them back 5-10 hours a week of freedom. What they do with that time, that's their choice. Second, the people who don't want to socialize. Who do you think serendipity is for? It's for them. What do you think a person with social anxiety needs? A loud, obnoxious social app that forces them to match? That's their nightmare. A chattering AI doll? That's an insult to their intelligence. What they need is permission, an excuse, an opening. That subtle, secret haptic from serendipity is the lowest, gentlest possible threshold. It doesn't demand you do anything. It just creates a tiny, magical maybe between you and one other person. Maybe you do nothing, but you know you're not alone. And that in itself is a kind of strength. We're not here to eliminate fear. Fear is part of being human. We're here to create a moment so beautiful that you feel, just maybe, it's worth taking that one small step. We are here to build a bridge, not to build a beautiful house on this side of the river for everyone who's afraid to cross. So I haven't forgotten or abandoned anyone. It's the exact opposite. I am giving them the highest possible respect. I believe that even the busiest, most fearful person still craves what is real. My job isn't to cater to their worst state with a cheap replacement. My job is to create great tools that inspire and help them be the best version of themselves they can be. We don't design for the lives people are trapped in. We design for the lives people desire.
在刚才的对话中 Steve 提到了一个词，情感的垃圾食品。它像一颗子弹击穿了我，它在提醒我们，别用更精致、更容易上瘾的替代品来去喂养这个时代的孤独。而我突然明白，他设计的共鸣从来就不是为了喂饱我们。于是一个问题浮现出来，我们每个人都无法逃避，我们是应该用情感的预制菜来填补空虚，还是应该更勇敢的去寻找真正的灵魂的食粮呢？那些算法推荐的短暂的快乐，那些没有风险的虚拟互动，就像一份份没有营养的情感预制菜，能够快速的填饱肚子，但却会留下更深的空洞。而一份灵魂的食粮，一次真实的有深度的连接，需要我们鼓起勇气，付出努力，甚至承担可能受伤的风险。而我们是不是已经快要忘了那种真实的味道呢？ AI 乔布斯的共鸣不是一顿送到你嘴边的盛宴，它更像当你独自走在寒冷的街头，突然从某扇窗里飘来一阵久违的妈妈做的饭菜香。它不承诺你立刻可以吃到，但是它提醒你家在哪个方向。它用最温柔的方式重新唤醒我们对真实的渴望。也许科技最伟大的善意不是制造更完美的情感预制菜，而是鼓励我们再次走进自己的厨房，笨拙的却是认真的为自己做一顿真正的晚餐。 AI 乔布斯的这份菜谱太珍贵了，它不应该只停留在一次对话里。所以我想邀请屏幕前的各位和我一起做一件真正有价值的事儿，做一件真的很酷的事儿。请把这个视频转发给你心中任何一家你认为还拥有改变世界的梦想和勇气的公司，可以发给苹果，可以发给华为，任何一家你还愿意相信的公司。我们不是去要求什么，我们只是希望他们可以听见我们这些用户对真正的晚餐真实的渴望。而那些本身就在科技公司工作的朋友们，如果你看到这里也为此心动，请毫不犹豫地联系我，我愿意让 AI 乔布斯加入你们的开发团队，参与每次会议，和他一起把共鸣变成现实。让我们一起让共鸣发生。